Alrighty, we are here live on the YouTube channel Shaggy TV. Here we're bringing you some pro late models here tonight at Volusia Speedway, round number 1 for the Dirty Dozen Crown Jewel series. And you know, I see my Streamlabs being a little slow. I tried to pre-do a stream here, and I think I may be streaming twice to the same channel by accident. So worst comes to worst, if I see some chats in here you're complaining about the audio, I'm just gonna end it real quick and throw it right back. It would literally take 20 seconds and it would still be on this channel, but I just see it be a little slow. But on my phone the picture doesn't look bad, but see how this audio goes. But you know, night number 1 here at Volusia, we're gonna go, I can't remember if I said 50 laps here or not. You know, we're gonna learn a little bit about these guys here throughout the night. I'm the new guy here, so I'm gonna learn, you know, at the same time as you guys. Let's go ahead. Let's see some driver details. Let's see where some guys are from here. Got David. All right, not too sure, not filled out there. We got DJ, so he's from Worcester, Ohio. I'm in PA, so it's gonna be my neighbor there, not too far away. Let's see if David doesn't have that out yet. Let's see, and none for Dustin there. So we've got one who's got that out. But guys, if you know, you're watching this, see that, it's kind of, you know, just a little driver details for the fans out there. You know, fill that SDK form out. Let's be as PG as we can with what we write in there, because I'm giving you guys liberties here and trusting you to behave yourself with that. But man, that 39 machine, love that paint job on that thing. Look, we got the Grim Reaper on the hood. Let's see if we can get a better look at that here. That thing's nice. That 39 looks good. Whoever painted that, David, they did a hell of a job on that thing. Let's see here, we got Zach Dickey. Does he have this? Okay, he's from Sheboygan Falls, Wisconsin. We got a cheese man out here, a cheesehead. So I'll have to see him. Well, I mean, he doesn't have to be a Packers fan, but one would assume. I'm one of those Pennsylvania guys. I do not like PA football teams. I'm a Washington, they'll always be Redskins to me, but Commanders fan, so nothing but pain out here. You see the timer up top. We got about 2 minutes and 30 seconds here till we roll into qualifying. And right now I'm seeing 14 guys in the room. You're seeing 12 up top that have taken time. 2 guys are still in the pits, so I haven't seen everybody come out and take times yet. David, you're seeing, I mean, right now it's just an experiment session. The track's going to roll over, so these guys are just going to flirt around with every different line that they can and try to see what's going to be fastest here in qualifying. Because like I say, they've got 1 minute and 50 left, so this is about the time. You know, you want to make sure you're out there on the track. You want to know what turn one's going to throw at you in qualifying. You want to kind of have a feel for it, but man, most of these guys turn so many laps on dirt that, I mean, they could drive this place in their sleep. They just gotta feel for it. You know, a lot of people run the V3 pedals. I'm sure I'll learn from these guys what they like to run, but a lot of us run pedals that sense the vibration that give you a vibration whenever you're spinning the tires, help you get that real life feel in the car. And man, that really helps guys on dirt so much. People always, in the iRacing rooms, they say, you know, what's the first upgrade? And don't get me wrong, I have a direct drive wheel. You want one of those. That is a goal to have. But man, those pedals that vibrate and let you know when you're slipping, that's something else. That's another tool all on its own. And you never get that feel that your butt gets when you're sitting in a real car, that you just kind of know what's going on. But man, it helps you a little bit. It definitely, giving that to your feet is a nice read. And seeing some guys pick up times a little bit. Track maybe getting a little quicker. Patrick Spangler, we saw he was P12 for the longest time. He moved up to P5. So there is a little bit of speed still on the track, and we'll have to see who can find it out here. We got About 15 seconds left, so stick around. We're going to be rolling into qualifying here. But if you're out there watching, let us know who you're rooting for in the chat box. I'd like to see what kind of fan bases we have out here. And just to see who I want to work on, you know, given screen time a little more than other guys. If you got family out there, I definitely don't want to leave them hanging, so let me know who you're rooting for. See here, should be rolling into qualifying here. We are. We'll see who pulls on the track first here. Looks like it is going to be Patrick Spangler getting on the track first. Let's see what he's got to offer. Going to go 3 laps. And I'm going to turn off the driver details here so you can see the bottom. We'll all watch together here. Purple sector is going to be the fastest out of anyone. Green is going to be the fastest for them. So Patrick Spangler, you see in turn 1, lap 1 here. He's basically going to sacrifice this lap. Going to run the whole way against the wall. And then we'll see what he's got here on lap number 2. But I'm not going to give him all the screen time. Let's see here, David on lap number 2. He's running the bottom there in 1 and 2. A lot of grip still on this track. We're not seeing very many shiny spots, a lot of tack. So these guys are pretty much going to be able to run wherever they want. And Patrick Spangler, he just jumped to the top of the charts there for his lap number 2. You saw him purple sectors, and that goes back to running the high side in lap 1. It's really going to help that thing build at least a 10th gap going down the straightaway of speed. Lap number 2 is going to be a 15.39. You see it's just slower. I mean, when you run the bottom coming out of 4, it's really eats your time. Let's see. Brian Warner Jr. is pulling out on the track here. Actually, let's check Billy Dawson here. This is finishing lap number 2. He's got just got the 1 to go here. Or no, that was his. He's not going to run that 3rd one. Okay, he's going to park it. But it was faster. Chad Marshall on his first lap here. He's going to bring it in P3. DJ Miller up to P2 on his final lap. Let's see if does Chad improve this time by? No, he runs a 15.12. Let's see here, Dalton Butcher, lap number 1, moves him to P3 in the 38 machine. Let's see what kind of run he gets coming out of turn 4 here. Can he improve his time? No, he doesn't. 15.19. He's going to be slower that last time around. Let's see what Billy Dawson's here. He's on his final lap. Actually, we're going to go back to Dalton Butcher. You see that purple? It's green there, so it was quicker for him. Pole, quick time, 14.89. And what a lap. Going to steal the pole here as everybody has put in their time. Zach Dickey did not take the track here for qualifying, but 13 cars did put in a time. And wow, what else can you say? Really stole that one. Last guy on the track, last lap, and he's going to walk away with it. We're going to find out here together. I've done many different leagues here. They all kind of have their own rules. We're going to have to see if they invert here for the heat, or if the way they roll off, or the way they qualified is going to be the way they roll off for the heats here. But little bit of time left here in qualifying. They might let it roll out, see if Zach Dickey decides to get that thing out of the trailer and put a lap or 2 down. But, man, as of now, your pole sitter is going to be Dalton Butcher, Patrick Spangler P2, and DJ Miller P3. The only guys to get under 15 seconds. So, rounding out the top 5, then Chad Marshall in 4th, Brian Warner Jr., David Hagg in P6, Michael Onis, P7, David Wright, P8, Billy Dawson, P9, and rounding out the top 10 is going to be Dustin Reagan. Justin Dougherty is going to bring it home, or roll off P11 here, qualify, and Brock Mosky, or I believe it's Mosky. And guys, feel free to send me messages this week, or let me know, if I'm pronouncing your name wrong. I don't want to sound like an idiot all year. Sounding like an idiot for a week is okay, but man, a year, I don't know if my self-esteem can handle that. But William Hess then going to qualify in the Baker's dozen spot, P13. And like I say, Zach Dickey, You have to bring it off the trailer here for qualifying. So as of now, going to be in last place here, P14. Oh, I see my gambler teammate, Jeff Kemper's in the chat box watching tonight. Jeff, how do I sound? Is the audio bad? YouTube is yelling at me sometimes about stream health because I accidentally streamed 2 streams to the same stream. So it's mad at me. I'm going to, hopefully this thing doesn't lag too bad to the point where I have to shut it down and restart it quick as one stream. But we'll see here. Jason's Satterfield. Congrats on getting the pole, Dalton. Yeah, that was a good time. He stole that one there at the end. Very impressive. Let's see what we got here. Now, I'll give you this starting grid here for heat race number 1. Starting on the pole is going to be the 38 of Dalton Butcher, and is outside the 44 of Chad Marshall. Inside of row number 2 is going to be the 5 of Michael Lonis, and is outside the double 3 of Dustin Reagan. And William Hess in the number 9 is going to round out heat number 1 here. He's going to start 5th inside of row number 3. So no invert. I like that. I think that's the way it should be. But to each their own. Not everybody agrees with me, but I'll tell you what, I don't really care, to tell you the truth. And let's see here. Why is that popping up? Not sure why that NASCAR Next Gen thing is popping up over the top of this. Let me see something here. I may have to reload my overlay. Having a bit of an overlay problem here. Nothing ever goes off without a hitch on night 1. That's for sure. Yeah, I'm going to have to flirt around with that picture. Not too sure why that's popping up. I'll go in and edit the line of code here in warm-ups. But, man, that was not like that at all when I set those test streams out this week. Man, that's going to bug the heck out of me. But here we're getting ready to roll off. Green flag here, heat number 1. And Dalton Butcher with a heck of a jump here. Going into turn 2, Dalton Butcher, he is off. He is gone. I mean, right now the battle is going to be on for P2, though. Michael Lone is going to look low into turn 1. Going to pitch himself off in the middle, but really gets a good run going down the backstretch. Michael Lonis, is he going to think about throwing the slide job here for P3 or P2? No, he's not. Where are we here? Chad Marshall, he's still trying to hold off on P2. Not too sure why that's sticking around at the bottom. I'm flirting with the other screen trying to get some things to disappear, but man. Out front, though, Dalton Butcher walking away. Got a 2.5-second lead. The battle's still on for second. But William Hess, is he going to get a... Oh, no, Dustin Reagan has to get on the binders. Almost gets in the side of William Hess here. As we're coming here, 4 to go. Yeah, laps don't want to update for me. Not too sure what's going on with this here, but man, that is killing me right now. As this is hard to do without an accurate lap count, but here we go. Michael Lonis, he's going to throw it in there. Not able to get it done this time. He's looking again. That's the checkered flag, I believe. No, white flag. telling us 4 to go, but we know that's wrong. We got to edit this a little bit here. Final time, Dalton Butcher's taking the checkers. Chad Marshall, P2. William Hess stole P3 from Michael Lonis at the line. And Dustin Reagan's going to bring it home P5. We're going to flirt around with some of this stuff here. So let's see. I'll load a project. Bear with me here just 1 second. Alrighty, sorry about that. Got it to work here. I'm afraid to click that grid button to distort this thing again. I don't want to make SDK mad, so I'm just going to read you off the starting grid here. But starting on the pole, you're going to be the 039 of Patrick Spengler. It is outside. The 57 of Brian Warner Jr. David Ripe is going to roll up P3 in the 39 into his outside. The 22 of Justin Dougherty. And rounding out the field tonight in the 42 is going to be Zach Dickey. See there he's the man from Sheboygan Falls. Justin Dougherty, Mansfield, Ohio here. David, he didn't have that filled out. Let's see where Brian's at. Lebanon, Missouri. Patrick Spengler, Tip City, Ohio. I always thought he was a PA boy with me. Maybe born and raised PA and moved away, but we like to claim him here in Pennsylvania and a couple other leagues, so it's going to stay that way for me. Pace truck should be off this time. By in the 39 is going to get a good start here. Going to lead him off is we're green flag here in the Crown Jewel Dirty Dozen Pro Late Models. Battle is on for P2 already. David Ripe in the 39 is going to look low. Going to lose all momentum. Those Brian Warner Jr. is going to easily take second. And that puts David in the midst of the 22's. Got a good run coming through 1 and 2. Mike have a problem there, and maybe that's what Jeff was talking about. Mike dipped out on me, and you know what? This is something we're going to wrinkle out here as the weeks go on, but man, the racing he's gone up front. Patrick Spengler, almost the second lead over Brian Warner Jr., who has almost a half-second gap over P3 David Wright. So pretty comfortable single-file racing there, but David's going to get tight in the middle of turns 3 and 4, and that's going to open up the door for the 22 here of Justin Dougherty. Can he make a move here in the middle of 1 and 2? He's going to look low. Going on board here. Can he get a run? He's side by side. Not going to do it. That run off the high side is just where you want to be right now in the middle of turns 4. Up front, though, Brian Warner Jr. slowly starting to reel in Patrick Spengler. Patrick Spengler had a second lead. Got that cut down to almost 0.6 of a second as Brian Warner Jr. with the fastest lap of the race last time by with a 15:12. But Patrick Spengler coming out of turn 4, looking to get the white flag as this is the final time. Brian Warner Jr. throwing a haymaker in there into turn 1, really trying to cut down the gap, but man, he's going to lose some speed coming out of turn 2, and man, Patrick Spengler, he's going to take heat number 2, followed by Brian Warner Jr., David Wright, Justin Dougherty, and Zach Dickey. Whole car around there at the end, Brian Warner Jr. And for the final heat of the night here, heat number 3, only got 4 guys making the call in this one, but You got DJ Miller in the 185 starting on the front row and is outside the 07 of David Hagg. Billy Dawson on the inside of row number 2 in the 7 into his outside. The 3 of Brock Mosky. Let's go ahead and check where these guys are at. Did anybody have this filled out? This may be the... Okay, yeah, that's right. DJ Miller. Worcester, Ohio. We knew that. We're going to start to remember this as we get used to these guys here. Gonna go around one more time here. First of 2 pace laps, but man, let's go for let's just ride on board right now at DJ. Let's see if the track doesn't look too bad. Looks like there's still a lot of tack right now on entry. That's the light there. Not even any real slick parts. So right now, these guys should be able to get some passing on the bottom if they really commit to it and maybe get their elbows out a little bit on corner exit. But we'll have to see here what these guys decide to do.
Green flag, green flag.
Alright, and now the driver details don't want to go away again. I am not sure what's going on with this thing. SDK. Because every time I reset it is working, but you're watching right now the battle for P3 there, David Hagg. We're going to have to refresh this real quick. So let's see here. We got DJ Miller up front right now. Did we get this to work? Yes, we did. Man, I'm not sure why the grid isn't wanting to scroll up top, but man, SDK is just not being our friend today here in between races. It is really frustrating itself, and they'll be getting a Discord message from me, that's for sure. But man, David Hagg all trying to just run down Billy Dawson. We've seen how hard it is to pass at this track right now. It's just everybody's basically hammered down, and you don't want to lose momentum off corner exit. And that's what we're seeing. I mean, a guy leader, DJ Miller, got up into Hershey Kisses a little bit, and now Billy Dawson all of a sudden, man, he is right on the back of the leader of the 185. This is the closest we've seen a battle for the front here in any of these heat races. Right now, DJ Miller flirting with danger up there, and there she kisses. He does get a big run, but oh man, he just loses so much time. Middle off, and oh, maybe a little contact here, and that gets David Hagg back in the picture here. He's all over the back now of Billy Dawson. Billy really had to check up, or that could have been a bad one, but 2 to go here at Volusia Speedway. A battle is on for final lap. SDK is being really slow here today. Final time, Billy Dawson looking to the inside, not going to get it done. DJ Miller's going to hold on to the lead here. David Hagg's going to finish P3, and Brock Mosky's going to bring it home in P4. Alrighty, these guys are going to do a quick warm-up here, and I'm going to try to mess around with SDK. You see that still, it doesn't want to work. Not too sure what's going on with this thing tonight, but definitely very frustrating. Not a problem I've experienced with SDK before. So give me a second here. I'll be right back. We're back live here on Shaggy TV as warm-ups are all over. Michael Lonis is going to be the fastest driver here right now in the end of warm-ups with a 15:43, significant speed over the rest of the field. But here we are getting ready for a 50-lap feature main event here. You'll see the starting grid rolling off on the top of your screen here, but you know what? I'm going to read it off to you. Let's see here. Starting on the pole is going to be the 38 of Dalton Butcher, and his outside, the 039 of Patrick Spangler. On the inside of row number 2, we have the 185 of DJ Miller, and his outside, the 44 of Chad Marshall. Inside of row number 3, the 57 of Brian Warner Jr., and his outside, the 7 of Billy Dawson. Inside of row number 4, we've got William Hess, and his outside, the 39 of David Ripe. Inside of row number 5, we have the 07 of David Hag, and his outside, Michael Lonis. Inside of row number 6, we have the 22 of Justin Dougherty, and to his outside, the 3 of Brock Mosky. Rounding out the field tonight is going to be the 33 of Dustin Reagan, and it doesn't look like Zach Dickey made the call, maybe missed the grid here, so I think they do waiver rounds. If he gets back out, I imagine they'll put him back on the lead lap, but we'll see here. Luckily, our grid's working right now. I think I got it refreshed and figured out in warm-ups. And if you're watching in the chat box, if you don't make your pick to win now, it does not count. We want to know who you think's going to win before the race. I'm the new guy here, but man, Michael Lonis, he was quick in warm-ups and going to be hard to pass coming from 9th, but that's the guy who I would definitely keep my eye on in the 5. We're going through turn 3 right now. Where else would you rather be than Volusia?
Green.
The green flag, we're going racing. Big battle here for P5. William Hess was in the middle, 3 wide. Here comes the 5 car, peeking down on the bottom. 3 wide. David Ripe on the bottom, or on the middle. He's a... And I believe cars lagging in and out. That had to make for mayhem here. I saw the leaderboard jumping all around, but guys surviving it and able to keep on rolling. But man, these guys are battling hard. Patrick Spangler, though, trying to run down your leader out front. Last time by was 0.03 of a second faster. Not a significant amount, but man, he's got to do something. And he's trying a different line here in 3 and 4. Not going to really work out for him there. It's Dalton Butcher. Fastest lap of the race last time by 15:82. And just as I say that, man, trying to get a pass done on the bottom. Billy Dawson in the 05. He ran your quickest lap of the race. And he moved up to P4 slider. Contact coming out of 4. And big wreck. We watched it happen. Oh, man. Let's go back and, man, let's take a look at this here. Let's see if we can go above here. We're going to go in the aerial cam. You see, he just tried to go under, the crossover, and there was a car there. And just, that's just a recipe for disaster coming out of turn 4, 3 wide. And, well, live to race another day here, but let's see if we can find another little better angle of that here. See, this blimp will give us a little better. You see, he goes in there, throws it, and then not too sure who that was who threw it in there on the bottom, but he tries a crossover, just a little nose contact with the guy in the bottom, and man, that could have been much worse than it actually was. Let's see, that's going to keep the man Dalton Butcher in the 38 out front. He's been pretty dominant. Patrick Spangler's been running him down a little bit. Not sure if they give leader lane choice or not, if the leader's required to start on the bottom, but we saw guys running up top. Patrick's arguably where you want to be, but leader's going to get the jump here coming out of turn 4, and leader does get a good jump as Patrick Spangler's got his hands full. Brian Warner Jr. in that 57, he's looking to the bottom of turns 1 and 2. Brian Warner Jr., you see it. Is he going to try the 2-for-1 Kmart special? No, he can only settle for 1. Patrick Spangler, he got lost in the sauce up top, and he's going to lose a spot there. Maybe 2 spots as David Ripe looking on the bottom of 1 and 2. And man, he's fast right now, but battle for the lead. Brian Warner Jr. slide job. Little contact coming out of 4. Dalton Butcher going to give him the front end. Is he going to think about throwing a slider of his own? He thought about it, but just not enough momentum to do anything. We got a new leader, the 57, Brian Warner Jr. He's looking to check out. Back here, Billy Dawson, or Brock Mosky, he's one of your hard chargers right now, up 4 spots in P8. He's trying to run down Billy Dawson. He looks fast in that 3 machine. Patrick Spangler lost up high again. Man, we've seen that guy just trying to run a new groove up there that I've never heard of, but it is not working out. Patrick Spangler, he's down 7 spots, started P2 down to 9th, but Dalton Butcher in that 38, he's found some new life. He's got the car breathing on the top. Brian Warner Jr., though, running that real defensive line in turns 3 and 4, kind of that slider line, entering middle low and floating up. You see it starting to slick off. Turns 1 and 2, though, a lot of grip still on the bottom, it looks like. Let's go back to David Ripe here. Let's ride on board. Let's see what he sees. He sees a hell of a battle going on in front of him right now. Side by side in front of him. He's just hoping for a little hiccup, and caution is out. Let's see what happened here. It's like Michael Lonis possibly. Let's see if we can maybe get a better view at what happened. Michael Lonis in the 5 car. Speed this up here. So he's up against the... Just tightens up in the middle of 3 and 4. Gets into the wall and has to get on the brakes. You know, if he floors that and spins out in front of anybody else, you're going to have a mad crew. So doing the smart thing there, getting on the brakes and just making sure he can live the race another day. He'll go in there and have the pit crew boys do some work, flatten that thing out. Maybe he's got a... Oh, man, I wish I could remember that guy's name. They call him Bug. If you watch the NASCAR race over the weekend, man, he jumped on the hood of that machine, flatten that thing out. That's what you need sometimes. You need a big fat guy like me on that pit crew. Just, you don't have time to get the hammer out. You just jump our 280 pounds on it. You know, we'll flatten it out right for you. So, right now, lights are off. Let's go in the drone cam here for this restart. Let's pay attention to Brian Warner Jr. inside row number 1. He is your leader. Let's see how good of a start he gets. Patrick Spangler, we watched him drop like a rock through the field. Last restart, he restarted on the high side and got caught too far up high and just kept getting cycled out. Actually, I thought the lights were off. They must have still been on. Maybe we're clicking them off now, and they tricked me with going double file. These guys are ready to go racing themselves. Now the lights are definitely off. James Purcell, he's rooting for the number 38. He says, "Let's go, Butcher." So, you know, that's early enough. I'm going to count that. Maybe you wrote it before the race started, and I just didn't notice too. So it counts. If he wins, you know, I'm going to give you credit for it. But here, pace car's getting ready to roll off, and we're off. Brian Warner Jr. Not as good of a jump as we've seen leaders have before, but still good enough to clear P2. And meanwhile, Dalton Butcher, he's got his hands full of David. David is looking on the bottom in that 39. I think he's got the Grim Reaper on the hood. He's coming for you. Not enough of a run, though, coming out of 4. He's going to have to give it up. He's going to look again, though, in the middle of 1 and 2. But the run that Dalton Butcher carries coming out of 4, it just seems like that's where you want to be. Is David, he's getting a little greedy down there. Maybe lost a little bit in the slick. Now he's going to lose P3, maybe P4. It might drop back to P5. Right now, it sounded like our leader, Brian Warner Jr., maybe a little bit of contact with the wall on entry. And, man, that opened the door for Dalton Butcher. Slide job for the lead. He's going to throw it in there. Brian Warner Jr. looking for the crossover. We're going to get another slider here, and that's exactly what the 9 car, William Hess, wants to see. He's right in the picture. We're looking at it again. Dalton Butcher, he's throwing it in there. Not enough to get it done, though. He's going to throw it into turns 3 and 4. He's got to keep it down on the bottom, and he does. He keeps it out of the slick. Gets a good run off of 3 and 4, and I think he's got a good enough run for his slider here. As you're going to see it, he's going to pull off the pass on Brian Warner Jr. And, man, that's probably the best run we've seen on the bottom in turn 3 and 4. We'll go back and get with the rest of the field here as soon as we get a break up front. But, man, slider after slider up front. And Brian Warner Jr., he's looking for some more. Back on the inside of 1. Driver is acting up with this mic. Sorry if it keeps cutting out on me, but don't let it phase you, this action. We are having a hell of a battle up front as Brian Warner Jr. and Dalton Butcher going back and forth, and all of a sudden, David Hagg up 5 spots. He's your hard charger. He is all over the back of William Hess here for the final podium spot. Looking on the outside, the 7 of Bill Dawson. He's thinking about making it 3 wide, but he kind of gets pinched up. He's got to back off, float behind the 9 of William Hess. David Hagg, he's going to throw it back up in front of the 7 of Bill Dawson. Dawson's going to look to counter. Does he have room to throw a slider? I don't think so, because William Hess is right there. They almost touch doors coming out of 2. William Hess, though, back in front. Let's go to Dalton Butcher. He's, I've kind of left that. I was paying attention to the relative. We've seen that 38. He's checking out a little bit. Last time by, him and Brian Warner Jr. both ran 1585s, but this time by, let's see, Dalton Butcher with a 1579 and Brian Warner Jr. with a 16.2. So almost a half a second that lap. And man, if the rest of the field doesn't get a caution here, goodbye Dalton Butcher. He's just got to hope he's saving some right rear tires. 50 laps around this place, that's a good bit of laps. William Hess, though, at 9 machine. It says 91 on iRacing. I've got him listed as 9 here in the server, but we're looking at the 91 machine of William Hess. He has got his hands full. Billy Dawson is all over the back of him. You see, little hiccup, and man, William Hess, he's going to lose 2 spots just like that. David Hagg looking underneath, but he gets lost in that slick there coming off of 4. Back out front, Butcher. Let's see if we can get them all in the same camera there. You're looking at it, 1.8 seconds. Just wow. See in the chat box, Kyler Walters, he said Butcher's got it in the bag. And man, I'll tell you what, if we don't get a caution, I agree with you, brother. He is checking out. Goodbye. See you later. But Brian Warner, he is not checking out. He seems to go in ebbs and flows. He had let the Billy Dawson run him down a little bit. Now all of a sudden he turns the jets on. Got back to work as he's increasing that gap. Last time by, ran a 16.38. Let's see what Billy Dawson runs this time by. 16.15. So Dawson is running down a little bit, but not as substantial as it was before. Let's go back here. Seeing a little battle. Yeah, I saw the pass get happen. Caution is out here. All right, so that's going to be one that was just thrown because of a little bit of contact. But let's see if we can go back and maybe take a look at what happened here. So that's him and Michael Lonis. Oh, okay. He gets in the end. Who was that? Yeah, that was David Reagan, or Dustin Reagan. I want to say David Reagan, the NASCAR driver. Dustin Reagan got in the inside of the wall there, going in, and that's going to be enough to warrant the caution for us here. I'll tell you what, happiest guy of that caution is that guy right there, that 57 machine. Ryan Warner Jr., the Lebanon, Missouri native. This gives him a chance to go back at it. And, you know, yeah, maybe Dalton Butcher has the speed, but it's one of those deals. You get to run in somebody's tracks now. He's right behind him. Gets to see, okay, hey, he's beating me into turn one. Maybe he's doing this. Maybe I'm driving in too hard. There are a whole bunch of things because, you know, if you're gaining on the guy going into the corner, and he's a half a second faster than you a lap, you know that's probably what you're doing wrong. You're driving in a little too hard and can't pick up the throttle as early as the guy in front of you. And you know, this is the chance to get that free class here, but pace car is going to be off. Dalton Butcher with a great jump, and Brian Warner Jr. caught sleeping a little bit as Billy Dawson beat him to the line. He's going to be the new guy in P2. Brian Warner Jr. all of a sudden hands full with David Hagg. Patrick Spengler in the 39. Where'd he come from? We saw that thing down there. We saw the struggles he had early on. Man, is he hooking this thing up on the bottom? Maybe doing it a little different than everybody else. Let's see here. Big run coming out of 2. Just as good as those guys on the high side. Doing a good job of shutting that machine down and getting a little different feel. But out front, Dalton Butcher, see you later, man. We might as well hand that check to him. He's gone. But the battle is on for second. David Hagg and Bill Dawson going back and forth. Billy Dawson has P2 right now. But David Hagg, man, he's got something to say about that thing. Oh, and look who in that 39 machine. 3 wide for P2 going into turn 1. Patrick Spengler, he's found something down there, and oh, he gets the door shut on him by David Hagg, but David Hagg floats up a little bit coming out of 4. Maybe a little contact between him and Billy Dawson. Excuse me, that was Billy Dawson in the white machine, still learning your paints. Billy Dawson, who was in the middle, maybe shut the door on the 39 of Patrick Spengler, but Patrick Spengler, if he can get that thing wound up again on the bottom, he's really showing some speed, able to come through the field after his struggles there in the beginning. Dalton Butcher, though, you're not missing anything out there. 2 seconds ahead, you can see it. Half a straightaway lead. Oh, man, we'll give him a 3/4 straightaway lead. Let's be safe. This is where the battle is right now. Bill Dawson, you're seeing the connection issue a little bit, lagging out a little bit. Maybe that messed up David Hagg, as you see, allowed Patrick Spengler to get by him. That may have thrown him off. Patrick Spengler going to throw it in hard. Let's go on board with Patrick Spengler. See, he's covered with... with 8 laps to go, but Patrick Spengler, 2.7 seconds back. He needs a caution. I mean, without a caution, Patrick Spengler is in a lot of trouble. Billy Dawson, though, he's trying to hang on. Oh, and it's the commentator's curse. The commentator's curse. He talks about a caution, and it comes out. Looks like David Ripe here. Let's see if we can get a look, see what happened. Coming into turn 3. Oh, hit the inside wall and looped it. And yeah, that's going to be enough for the caution. Tough deal. And did Brian Warner Jr. crash as well? My software is telling me maybe he had some trouble. Let's see. Oh, there was a crash in front of him, actually, that never registered. Who was that? Can't really tell who that was. William Hess, possibly? Let's see here. Oh, that's all under caution. Not too sure who that was who looped around. It's going to help a lot once you guys show up in the same paint jobs every week. I'll tell you what, but man, it's got awful interesting. It's the racing gods answered the prayers here. We're going to get what should be, I believe, a 6-lap shootout when we go back to green here. Maybe it'll stay at 7, but I believe we're going to get 6 laps here. And man, it's going to be 6 bring 'em laps. Is that 39? He's been running the bottom. He's got to save some right rear tire. But pace car is off. Dalton Butcher with a great jump. Patrick Spangler may be caught sleeping a little bit. Here's 6 to go. Patrick Spangler, he's going to keep it on the bottom in 1 and 2. And, you know, that's something Dalton really hasn't seen in his rearview mirror yet. He's been so far ahead, he hasn't seen anybody flirting with that bottom. So, going to be interesting to see what the times look like here next time by. Dalton Butcher maybe got lost in no man's land in the middle of 1 and 2. Not where you want to be. And you see Patrick Spangler, the 39, all over the back of the 38 here. We're 4 to go. Last time by, Patrick Spangler with a 16-17. Your leader with a 16-34 is Patrick Spangler. Your leader opened the door. The 39 thought about shoving the front. Gonna love. With 2 to go, we got a battle for the lead. What more could we ask for here? Volusia Speedway going down the backstretch. Spangler had him by half a car coming out of turn 4. White flag is in the air. Too close to call at the line here. Final time through 1 and 2. Patrick Spangler with a big run off the bottom of turns 2. Can he throw this door at him? They're side by side. Patrick Spangler at the line, beating Dalton Butcher. What a run. Bill Dawson going to bring home P3. David Hag P4. Michael Lonis. Man, just wow. What a race from these guys. What a race. Let's go ahead and give you your full order here. William Hess, P6. Chad Marshall, P7. Dustin Reagan, P8. P9, Brian Warner rounding out the top 10. Brock Mosky, DJ Miller is going to bring it home 11th. David Wright, P12. Justin Dougherty, P13. And only made it through 22 laps here. Zach Dickey with a tough race. He's going to bring it home. In P2, in P14, but oh, wow. I mean, what more could you ask for? We were treated to an excellent finish here from these guys to bring it out at the end. And let's see if we can go ahead and try to get our word with P3 here. Hey, Billy, man. Shaggy in the booth. You got a copy? Oh, I know what it is. I pushed talk on Discord. So everybody give me 1 second here. He can't hear me, but you can. Sorry there, Billy. I'd push to talk turned on. Shaggy in the booth, man. You got a copy?
Yep, copy.
Well, hey, man, good run tonight here to start the season. P3, you started P6. Talk to us a little about your night here.
Yeah, I really wish I stayed up front and I didn't get collected in that contact there at the beginning, but it was my mistake. I shouldn't have thrown what I should have.
Yeah, not much you could do there, though. That's kind of a product of the track. Not a lot of slick there at the beginning. You got to throw a slider and be aggressive there. I don't think you got anybody too mad at you. That's just kind of a product of the track.
Yeah, most definitely. The track was tacky at the beginning. It kind of slipped off at the end, but I had a tight set the whole night. I was just fighting that car, it felt like. But wow, Patrick Spangler is one fast dude.
Yeah, I run a league with Patrick Spangler on a couple nights, and I'm used to that running behind that 39 quite frequently. He finds some speed, and he kind of found it on the bottom. Were you surprised when you saw that 39 hooking up on the bottom?
Yeah, honestly, I figured it was going to go around the top like Volusia always does. I mean, there was a lineup at the beginning, but I wouldn't say there was much to it. The bottom was just there.
Well, hey man, congratulations on your P3 tonight. You got anybody you want to thank on the podium?
DJ Miller, Amsoil, and then that's it for right now.
Well, congratulations, man. Look forward to talking to you some more this season, Billy.
Yep, thank you.
All right, let's move on to our second place finisher here, Dalton Butcher. Hey, Dalton, Shaggy in the booth, man. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got you, buddy.
Well, hey, man, we're watching it in slow-mo right now. You and Patrick just going back and forth those last two laps. You had to be upset when that caution came out.
Yeah, no doubt. Had a 2.5-second lead and just had to deal with a bunch of ghost cautions all night, but it is what it is. We'll go on to the next one, see what we can do.
Yeah, starting off the season with a P2 and as strong of a car as you did, it's got to feel good, but, a little frustrating on losing the win. But, man, as dominant as you were on that early track, I think some of these boys might have their handful if they don't get a caution. That was a hell of a job tonight. But were you surprised when you saw the 39 hooking up there on the bottom to get by you?
No, I feel like I probably used up my stuff because I didn't expect there to be a caution late, but I'm interested to see if he saved tires or what, because he definitely had more dig than I did late, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I talked about him about lap 20. He fell to the back almost knowing that he was going to get a caution. I think that's where he got you. I think he started to move to that bottom and saved some right rear, and it's probably what ended up burning you at the end, man. But, hey, you showed a lot of speed tonight, P2 to start off the year. Can't really complain. Who you want to thank on that, man?
Yeah, first off, got to shout out my personal team, Kamikaze Motorsports. Robbie Milburn, he was spotting for me tonight. Shout out to KMKZ Media. If y'all need a rap or anything, hit them up on Facebook. Shout out to everybody that tuned in for me tonight. Shout out to Lonus for the league, and shout out for you to you for the broadcast, brother. I appreciate you.
Well, yeah, man. Hey, you treated me to a hell of a show tonight. You were a fast car. I'm looking forward to talking to you some more this season, man. Congratulations.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it.
Well, and that brings us to the final interview of the night here. Somebody who, in my coast-to-coast days, another league I run, I interview this guy quite often. But, Patrick, it's normally in a sprint car, man. Hell of a job tonight, brother.
Thanks. Yeah, the qualifying heat race felt good, but I could not get that car to turn at all in the feature, and then decided to run the old Blake Chapman line around the bottom, and it was moving.
Yeah, I didn't use him as a reference because nobody's going to know who that is yet, but that's a guy who we run with, and he runs the bottom like no other, and man, he's the first person I thought of when you did that. I know I know you learned that one from him, but, I'm glad you brought that up about your car being tight. We watched you struggle up there up top, getting too high. I kind of thought you were maybe just trying to save some tire and take it easy, but that was just the car not handling for you?
Yeah, it was pushing like a dump truck. It'd be fine for like 1 or 2 laps, and then I would be on the brakes, just trying everything I could. I was trying to light up the rear tire to get the rotated entry. Tried engaging the right front brake, nothing was making it turn. So I just rode across the bottom, and I realized when I was coming out of two, if I go as low as I could get to that wall, it would just launch me. And I saw Dalton there move towards the bottom there on the last restart, and I thought the only place I'd be able to get him is at the bottom of two. If I can get on the exit lower than him off two and get him into three, I might have a shot. But yeah, and then I almost took it too carefully into 3 and 4, and I thought he was going to get by me on the high side. So just happy to hold on to that one.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised I didn't see you throw the elbows out. You almost had him cleared going into 4, but like you said, man, you took it a little easy there in 3 and 4. Man, I think you made that a lot closer than it needed to be. But Patrick, you showed these guys a little trick in this bad boy, man. The bottom's back in this update. What do you say?
I'd say that's affirmative, yeah. Because we didn't really get much on the update. I think they moved the grandstands at Kokomo for this update. But yeah, I didn't want to throw the slider there because I didn't know if I'd be able to get the car to turn going through the middle. So I just keep into what I know. And if he beat me in the middle, then he beat me. But I was glad to make it stick there.
Well, hell of a job tonight, Patrick. Able to secure the win here in week 1. Man, you know the drill. Who you want to thank?
Just you for the awesome broadcast, Michael for running this league, and all the guys. Just super fun league to run with. All the guys, real fun, nice, no drama. Um, yeah, it was cool to only have, I think, 2 or 3 cautions, and one was because the guy's computer went bad at the end, and he couldn't see what he's doing. So yeah, can't ask for much more than that. That was pretty fun.
No, and it was a good caution. He got into the inside wall, and I mean, you do that in real life, you're going to get a caution 10 out of 10 times. So I got no problem with that at all, and it maybe cost Dalton a little bit, but man, it made for a hell of a race. And congratulations on the win here, Patrick.
Thank you.
Well, that's going to do it for us here with your racing action tonight. Let's go ahead and let's just take a view of the track. And we're going to bring up here, we're going to do something here. Bring up the overlay. I believe they're going in order, and if they are, it looks like next week we should be in my neck of the woods here for the next two races. We're coming to PA, man. You better watch out. PA Posse's going to be ready. They're going to be hungry at Lernerville Speedway, and what we love about that place is no walls. So one mistake, you're going to go over the top, and if you want to be fast, you got to rip the lip here at Lernerville. So make sure you join us here next week, 8:30 Eastern again on Shaggy TV. That's where we'll be. We'll be at Lernerville Speedway. Hell of a job tonight, guys, and thanks for tuning in with me here on Shaggy TV. I'm Zach Chapman, and we'll be signing off for the night, so have a good evening.